snacks.
Hey, what it do, snackers and snackettes? It's your boy Gage. Jokes is in the building, Sin is in the building, and you are now officially tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and talk about things that are happening in pop culture. And today, Jokes is sad. Today we are going to talk about Masters of the Universe Revelation. We're going to talk about Warner Brothers making 10 movies exclusively for HBO Max in the wake of whatever Disney in theaters are currently going through. We're going to talk about some new shoes. We're going to talk about Batman. And I like talking about Batman.
Okay.
I like talking about Batman. What do you want me to do?
I mean,
you okay?
No.
You having a panic attack? You okay, man?
He's not focused right now.
He's not.
He's not.
I'm a little upset.
The pressure right now to focus on doing the show when really what he wants to do
is focus on that Xbox.
Yes, murder at 1600, bruh. It's I can see it, my guy. It's unfavorable. You okay? You gonna make it?
I'm good. It's not red rain, as of yet. So
no, you ain't good. I can see it all over your face.
How many hard drives you got hooked up to that joint?
Just one external to that joint right now.
Yeah, disconnect that. That's what I did. Later. I unplugged everything. I was like, no.
I'm taking no chances.
Yeah, like real talk. Like I just tell you, I'm gonna tell you. I did actually. I was gonna try to do the joint as an offline update, like download the update separately, plug the joint in, and try to do it that way. I was fortunate enough to not have to. You just gonna have to be quick on the draw, bro. You're gonna have to be Johnny on the spot, buddy. I just want you to know. Okay.
Good luck, sir.
Hey, listen. You know, sometimes we pay the price for being early adopters.
Oh,
you know what I mean? For being
that's
in the alpha ring.
That's
part of the drama, man. It's like you sign up for it and then they treat you bad for it too. You know what I'm saying? So look, here's what I want to do.
Okay.
So you got a chance to go ahead and watch Master of the Universe, right?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched all 5 episodes today.
My guy. Avenging as one does because
that's his thing.
Work is not drawing you in. You are not stuck trying to work.
Actually, today I was. It was one of the things where it was quiet, and as soon as I got them 5 episodes done, everything came out of the woodworks. I was like, "Ooh, timing is perfect."
I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, they're not that long. The episodes, you know, themselves are not that long, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
What
up, Greg?
What's good, Greg?
I do think it's super interesting, though, that it's interesting to me that they are like 22-minute episodes when there aren't any commercials. It almost makes me feel like maybe they're gonna do something with it. But let's talk overall impressions, my guy, because I think I'm still in the middle on how I feel about it. Where are you?
I don't like
What's the KB? You said you don't like it?
Nah.
Okay. I'm okay with that. You don't like it. The animation is bad. The voice acting is bad. The storytelling is bad. What don't you like about
it? It felt rushed. The storytelling, and it just felt rushed. Like I liked at the end of the episode where it was seeming to go. Like, okay, like He-Man, Skeletor. In the first episode, like I didn't like nothing about the first episode until He-Man and Skeletor started going at it, and then not trying to spoil anything, but they're gone. You know what I mean? Like once all that kind of happened with the story, when the story was leading, I was like, okay, now that we're getting here, I kind of like where the story's leading to, and it just seems so rushed for 5 episodes to me. Like it could have. I think it needed more episodes to fully tell out this arc or what story or whatever they're doing with
Well,
it.
this is
seems
the
so
first
rushed.
half of the first season, so there are going to be 5 more episodes. It's just the first half of the season. It didn't feel rushed to me. It didn't feel rushed to me. I mean, it feels short, but it feels about right in terms of like how long the episodes are, because I don't know. There's something about it that makes me feel like if they were longer or if they had tried to make this into a movie, I would have hated it. So I don't, I think it's cool. Van said, I thought Master of the Universe Revelations was cool. A continuation of the story of the 1980s. By the way, are spoilers allowed? And here's the thing. I feel like we're going to have to get into spoilers. Because the controversy that is surrounding this joint right now, in order for us to talk about that, I think we're going to have to do that. So, G, I know it looks like you haven't watched episodes 4 and 5 yet. I don't think we have to go so far into spoiler territory to ruin that for you, but we do need to, spoiler alert, we need to talk about Tila. We have to talk about Tila because that's the thing that the internet is on fire about.
Okay.
All right, cool. Greg said he's cool with spoilers, so that's cool.
Okay.
Makeshift spoiler boy segment, it sounds like.
It is. It's almost. I mean, yeah, because we spoiling it for you too, because I know you didn't watch it. Although I don't know if it matters at all to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like I'm pretty sure for you guys, watching it's a continuation. So I've only watched some of the episodes. Obviously, when it came on Toonami way back in the day, like I think it came before Dragon Ball Z at one point. So I always call like the tail end of it going into Dragon Ball Z. So I really didn't watch the original Masters of the Universe like that. So
all I can tell you is that Jones smash Beast Wars. That's what I can tell you. Bro.
Hey, okay, go ahead and say that. Wait until New Joan comes out. Wait until New Joan come out.
Man, whatever.
And I got a movie too.
I mean, whatever. So did Master of the Universe. That didn't turn out so well. So listen,
Yeah.
that live action joint was not the move. All right, so here's the thing. I'm gonna say, Cinda, I disagree with you in the feeling that it was rushed. I just feel like they're going somewhere. I would have preferred that they just put out all 10 episodes, though. Like if they had put everything out, I probably would have binged it, and I hope or assume that I would have been satisfied with where they went with it. Right now, as half of a season, and only being 5 episodes, I'm okay with where it is. I'm okay with them establishing where these characters currently are, what's going on with them, what happens. We actually, there's a time jump, and I don't remember them telling us exactly how much time was between that jump, but it seemed like it was relatively significant. Here's what I loved about this. There were so many side characters that got side character love. And when I say that, I mean they were there, but they didn't try to make them more than
what they
side characters. You know what I mean? Like Clamp Champ was there, Ram Man was there, Triclops was a little more of an important character, but Triclops was there, Trapjaw was there, Beastman was there, Mossman was there, Stinkor was there. Like, bro, they was just dropping them, bro. They was just dropping them. And like, they were showing characters, and I was like, oh my God, I had that toy. Oh my God, I had that toy. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, Nightmare, I had that joint. I forgot about Slim. Even like Panther, which never really got any real, like, yes, he was like the Skeletor version of Battle Cat, Big Purple Cat, whatever they kind of showed him when they went to Eternia's version of Heaven or whatever. They dug a little deeper, I think, into the He-Man lore than we ever got in the actual show. Some of that lore existed in the small booklets that came with the original characters. Like some of that lore was there. But I loved it. Ben said, I heard about the instant hate about this. Let me tell you, haters here. Have any of y'all read, saw Death Return of Superman, saw Infinity War, Endgame, Will Till Part 2, right? Right. I mean, I do think that there's a lot more to be shown and said. People are upset right now because of feeling like there was way too much focus on Tila. That there wasn't enough He-Man in it. and Taylor
That's
was
what I
too much.
liked. That's what I liked about it.
Why is that what you liked about it?
I don't like, just in order to, I don't know, do something a little bit different, like He-Man, Skeletor, since we're all talking spoilers, they get killed or whatever. So I kind of like years,
episode 1, dog.
Like,
wait.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, all right, when I'm watching it and this old classic He-Man, the cheesy lines and everything, they getting it in, and then when they going down, I'm like, okay, hold up. And then when I see the stories going, I'm like, all right, I like this. The way the whole first season ended with everybody kind of beefing with each other over it and Teela not knowing anything. Like, I liked all that. Then we go years ahead. I'm like, okay, now in this new era of the He-Man universe, okay, I want to see what this world is like. There's no He-Man. Like, I'm sure he would come back eventually. I wanted more time seeing the show without him and Skeletor there to be the anchors. And then at the end of, when we get to the end of it, they're back. Like, I wanted more time without that to see this world that it's become without them. That's what I mean when, like I say, like, I feel like it was rushed. Like, they were going through things so quickly to get to the end goal of end up bringing back He-Man. That's what I didn't like about it.
What's up, late time? Hey, bro, you missed it all. I hope you watch Master of the Universe because we in full spoiler boy territory right now, dog. Listen. All right, look. Here's okay. So I understand what you mean when you said you feel like it was rushed. For you, you wanted more of that world building that didn't focus on and wasn't circulated around He-Man and Skeletor. You were enjoying getting some of that stuff with some of these other characters and learning more about them and seeing. Again, me too. That I think is the thing that I was enjoying the most about this, was that we were getting this. I'm gonna be 100% straight up real with you. I was absolutely afraid that they were going to let Taylor become the new master of the universe and wield the sword.
I thought that for a second too.
And that would have pissed me off.
Disgusting? That would have been disgusting?
It's not even, here's the thing. Technically, that already exists in She-Ra. So you don't need to do that again. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to do that. And that's not the direction that I personally feel like Teela needed as a character. So that would have upset me if they had done that. Mm-hmm. What I will say about the way the joint ended, though, didn't see that coming, dog. I was like, oh, oh, for real?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Let me listen. Let me just say this. Man-at-Arms is one of my favorite characters of all time. Of all time. Duncan is a straight-up G, and I love that they made him a G in this joint. My man was showing up saving He-Man and Taylor, you know what I'm saying, from the worst of, you know, like, again, they're just side characters that you really don't, like, they were, of course, they were all there, right? They just wanted to sell toys, so they just kept introducing characters, but, like, you get some story and some background with Merman that makes you feel like, all right, Slim might be a little bit of a threat, you know what I'm saying? When Evelyn takes her helmet off and has the storm hair.
Hey, I was like, hey, Shawty, you get it.
You didn't even live. You felt like you could get it before that anyway. But like, yeah, listen, she did a great job. And here's the thing. I love the building around Orko. The idea that magic is so essential for Eternia. And that the loss of magic is having an effect not just on the planet, but on people who rely on it. You know what I mean? For what it is, it's basically like an energy source in a lot of ways. I like that direction. I like what they were doing with that. Listen, I was getting amped just seeing all the old vehicles, bro. Like, I think the only thing I wanted to see was an attack track.
I was looking at the old vehicles like, dog, these joints was trash, dog. Why were they so into the joints?
They were, but they
like sharks. What is the point of this?
They was getting it in, dog. Yeah, like there were, yeah, they definitely had some dumb vehicle ideas, but like it's a wild, magical.
Yeah, you got to sell toys, so hey.
Hey, like, I get it for the toy perspective. Just looking at it now with older eyes, I'm like, dog, somebody explain the functionality of this vehicle to me, please.
Nope, toy.
You know what, though? But here's the thing. In every episode, in the old joints, you know what I'm saying, in the 80s, every time they for the most part, every time they introduced a new vehicle, they explained why. Like they were trying to get somewhere they couldn't get without it, or they, you know what I mean? Like the attack track didn't even have like real wheels or real track. Like the like the wheels were like these sliding things. Like it's dumb. Anyway, that's gonna be the most rattle most. You would be doing the most. You would be dying in that joint, trying to ride on that joint. I loved what they did with Orko. The direction they took the character. Yep, he's bumbling, but they explain what that's like for him. I feel like they took a very like mental wellness approach to a lot of the characters, Evelyn and Tila and Orko as characters. I do feel like they overdid it with Tila. Like she seems truthfully way too angry about not knowing that Adam was He-Man. And the only reason why I could see or agree with her being as angry as she was is just because she believes herself too smart to have been fooled that way for that long. You know what I mean? But like literally, like you're so angry that nobody told you Adam and He-Man were the same person, and that there were people around you every day that knew it, that you have walked away from the kingdom, from your position. You hate everybody. You're not talking to your father no more. And the king himself, Adam's own father, didn't know Slim was He-Man. And you mad? You mad? Hey, Slim, you a little selfish. And I'm going to need you to just relax a little bit and take some things in. You know what I'm saying?
I can give you that, yeah.
I wasn't feeling that at all. Ben said we saw some essence of Sorceress in Tila in the 2K2 reboot, which was dope. It was hinted at Tila was Sorceress's daughter. Maybe that'll be brought up in part 2. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they're trying to get to. Everybody keeps trying to tell her that magic is important because of who she is to the Sorceress. I'm pretty sure that's the direction that they're going. Ty said Orko was on that magic withdrawal. Crazy man. Arms looked like he was on crack. Dog. My man was hurt.
He was not looking too good at all.
Hey, listen, but I feel my man Duncan, the man at arms, going ham with the hands and not spilling no magic water. I got to get this back to my man. And he was punishing dudes. He was punishing cats out there.
Oh, yeah. When he came through the water on a jet ski and served all the dudes on the boat, I was like, hey, he a beast.
Serving, dog. Getting chucked off, hitting them with the whip. I'm going to grab you, come back, knee you in the face. Listen, I enjoyed the action. I enjoyed the banter. I like the direction. I like the art, the direction, all of that kind of stuff feels good to me. What's up, Jerry? Hey, listen, real, since I got you in here, Jerry, I just want to congratulate you on that move to DC. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
My man said, yep, Taylor was heated. She yelled at the king after he just told her if he sees her father again, he was going to be executed. Now, again, let's run that down for a second. She's so angry that she didn't know that Adam and He-Man was the same person, and that nobody told her that the fact that the king said, if I see your pops again, off with his head.
It's on sight. It's straight up.
Sight.
Dog, she was like, I don't care. I'm out, dog. For real? That's okay. Okay. I didn't know. You know what I mean? Like that's yes, and I get it. I get it. She loves him, but which one does she love, Ty? Does she love He-Man or does she love Adam? See, I think she's in love with He-Man, but I think she thinks Adam is her best friend / little brother.
Oh,
and it's her job to protect Adam. It's not her job to protect He-Man, right? And so maybe she would have been a little more reckless or thrown herself in front of things or whatever if she had known that it was the same person. She would have felt the need to guard He-Man because He-Man is Adam. But who knows? You know what I mean? I hope that they actually explore why she seems to be so angry at everyone for it, because right now it feels unjustified to me. Ben said also in the 2002 reboot, due to being daughter of sorcerer, she had temporary telepathy. Man at Arms was afraid she was suss out that Adam was He-Man at the same time. Yeah, I mean, and again, I get that. Like, it does seem like whatever her position is going to end up being in this, part of what they're attempting to do is protect her from the fact, like, she can't know about her tied to the sorceress because she also
Floyd said that's on trash.
because she also then becomes a target for Skeletor, for whoever, right? Like, if she's got that kind of a tie, then there's got to be obviously more to it, and they kind of showed that when she's in there dealing with Nightmare and so forth. What's up, Nick? Nick said, I think I'll stick with the original animated series. I heard this was not good. I think you should absolutely watch it and decide for yourself. I don't think you should let people tell you. Here's the thing. He-Man was my everyday. I came home from school, watched He-Man, like in kindergarten, bro. Like, He-Man was my everyday. It was everything. I could get up from where I am right now and get my original Castle Grayskull and show it to you, my original Snake Mountain and show it to you. I can see them from where I am. Like, He-Man was everything for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was all I cared about. And the only other thing I cared about more than that was Spider-Man. And them joints came on back to back when I was a kid. So look, I was in heaven. You know what I'm saying? I think you should watch it for yourself and make a decision. I enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm interested in seeing where they're going with it.
I wasn't a fan of it, but I agree. It's only 5 episodes. Just watch it for yourself and make your own conclusion about it. Yeah, it's
not like 20 minutes
they split the season in half. Like, I think I get you want to draw people back in, but it seemed like for you, Sin, if they'd have given all 10 episodes to you, I feel like maybe you feel a little bit different.
Probably, probably not.
I'm getting ready to take a moment.
I was mad when they brought back He-Man and Skeletor then. Like I said, I knew they would come eventually, but not so quickly.
Listen, my man Floyd said the show is trash and it's disrespectful to call it He-Man. Let me start by telling you they don't call it He-Man. It's not called He-Man. It's called Masters of the Universe Revelations.
That's the first thing as soon as he died at the end of the first episode, that's what I did. I said, hold up, back up and said, this is not have He-Man in the title. He-Man. Let's go. I like it. Yeah.
The original show was called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. This is not that. This is called Masters of the Universe Revelation. It doesn't have to be about him. It's not supposed to. So if you're upset that they're focusing on Teela, you should go back and look at the title of the joint again. That's what you should do. You should look at what the title actually says, because a lot of people are upset because they assumed, because of what they grew up with, that's what it was going to be about, and that's not what they told you. That's not what they told you. So while I'm not super happy with all of what happened with it, I'm not mad. I won't be mad about it until the end of the last episode of the season. When I see how the season ends, then I'll be like, you did that wrong. You know what I'm saying? Or, okay, good move. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, there is an opportunity here for this franchise to grow outside of the very male, stereotypical white guy. I will solve all the problems. I have all the power. There are so many ways for them to take this.
That's literally what he says. I have the power.
Literally. You know what I'm saying? Literally, right? You have a core black female character who is smart and has listen, I was getting Jackie Briggs vibes from Shorty all day. Like, they were on Mortal Kombat when they signed this.
Facts, it was
like straight up.
He had the little hand joints like her. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of potential with the property and the franchise for Mattel as a whole, as a group, right? If this takes off, they will sell toys, period. They will sell toys, and they won't just be, oh, remember when you was a kid and you want to get these again, because they're already doing that. There will be new toys, and they will market them across the board to all genders and all ages and so forth. And that's more of what it's about. It really is. As a 43-year-old man with children in their 20s and their preteens, that are all girls, I spent a lot of time focusing on looking for and dealing with properties that are geared towards one gender or the other, and not necessarily geared for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I see that happening, I don't feel like there's some agenda that is designed to take things away from me. I feel like there is an agenda that is designed to make things more inclusive for everyone. And yes, that means that it not necessarily specifically geared towards you, but it doesn't take it away from somebody else. And the need for us as geeks to empower ourselves by feeling like something belongs to us. Mm-hmm. I'm the person who saw this anime first. Nobody else should be on it. And the minute everybody else starts to like it, now I don't like it anymore. You know what I'm saying? I liked it before it was cool. Now I don't like it anymore because everybody else is on it. Let me go look for something else obscure for y'all to be on. Like, I'm not sure where that comes from, right? But it's a thing that I feel like we all have to learn to let go of, right? Like, I have learned, like, for a long time, I was the only person I knew who loved Spider-Man, but I couldn't have been the only person. Start going to Comic-Cons, bro. You're going to find yourself in a lot of company with a lot of people. And let me tell you something, it feels good to have other people that you know love what you love and love it the way you love it for the reason you love it. So while I do give jokes a hard time for being the only person on the planet who actually likes Beast Wars.
No, actually, if Floyd is still in there, I remember he was a big Beast Wars advocate.
I know that that's not true. You know what I'm saying? No, like, I know that's not true. But I do, listen, but I do give him a hard time because Beast Wars was stepping on something that I reviewed.
That you do.
You know what I'm saying? In my child, like, what is this garbage? This ain't Gen 1.
Gen 1 transform.
Optimus Prime. This isn't Bumblebee.
You get Optimus Prime.
This isn't Hound. This isn't Jazz. Like, what am I saying?
This ain't Token Jazz.
See, look, Floyd said, I love these boys. Like real talk, like, you know, I feel like these are the kinds of things that we need, though. You know what I mean? Like, there's a need for us to be more progressive and more understanding. Yeah, like, listen, Penny likes Beast Wars. Yeah, but all right, listen. Hey, Jerry, listen, I'm gonna let you have that fight at home. I ain't about to do this. My man said, what if it's the violent Spider-Man? I think there's space for a violent Spider-Man. That's what the multiverse is all about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what the Spider-Verse is for. Y'all didn't just see Lego introduce the little Lego mini for zombie hunter Spider-Man, dog. I'm all about it. Give my man zombie piercing webs. I don't care. Do what you got to do. Spider-Man Noir use a pistol, dog. It's a real thing. Like, I'm cool with that, right? My man said I'm a waving fan because Gage preached. I'm just listening. Listen, Beast Wars was dope.
Y'all go ahead with all this.
Thank you.
Go ahead with all this Beast Wars love.
Thank you.
My man said the way they brought G1 into the fray was excellent. Listen, let me tell you something. I wouldn't even give them the time of day to bring G1 into it. I was just like, what is this? This isn't Reboot. And it's not G1. I'm not with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'll probably be. I think if Netflix dropped that joint at 3 a.m., I may be binging this joint at 3 a.m. because that's tomorrow. So I may be.
Hey, listen, I'm cool with that, man. I feel like what this show is doing, in the people that is upsetting, is like everybody just kind of needs to hold on for a second. You know what I'm saying? We only 5 episodes in. We don't know where they're completely going. And let me tell you, these Bama's went to heaven. They went to hell, left hell, went to heaven, found Adam, reforged the sword, brought Adam back. Mind you, we only 5 episodes in. Brought Adam back. My man grabbed the sword, started to say the words. Skeletor stabbed that right in his back, and I was like, hold on. Skeletor's a G, dog.
Hey,
I ain't about to let you get that off.
He finally
seen that too many times.
You just don't stand there and take it. Like when he starts yelling, you gotta do it this time.
Hey, dog, listen. Stab my man all the way through the torso. You understand what I'm saying? On sight. Which is the move. That's what I expect from Skeletor. That's what I expect from Mark Hamill as Skeletor. You know what I'm saying? Just Right through there. Let's get in here. Let's see. Joe can calm down because you know Beast Wars unpopular opinion. Hey, listen, it's fine because we finding out. He got folks in the chat all the time.
Folks is coming out and saying they love Beast Wars.
Come watch the show. I know they're gonna talk about me. Ty said I'm probably one of only 3 people who like Battlefield Earth with John Travolta and Forrest Whitaker. Yes. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. It's just you. Floyd says progressives creating new characters and highlighting characters of a diversity, not changing characters like that whack ass female Taskmaster. Listen, the Taskmaster thing is an issue. I don't think the Taskmaster thing is progressive. I don't even necessarily think focusing on Tila is progressive. I just think it's okay because the show's not called He-Man.
Right.
The show is called Masters of the Universe, which says to me, if you have a show called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, that means him and everybody else. Right. And if you say Masters of the Universe, that means that's everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the idea of the show being about the battle between good and evil, the battle for control over Grayskull, and not necessarily just being about He-Man and Skeletor. The character development you get from Orko, from Evelyn, seeing those characters, listening to their backstories, understanding where they come from, having Evelyn actually saying like, I'm just dumb. Like I could have been super powerful. I could have been doing A, B, and C. I'm running around chasing this dude with no face. You know what I'm saying? And look where it got me. You know what I mean? Instead of me focusing on me, like there's a message in there. Sure, you don't have to hear it or take it or whatever, but it's nice to see some actual character development there, as opposed to just this is the doll we're gonna make that's in the exact same mold as Tila with a different color. We about to palette swap this joint. You understand what I'm saying? And just give her a different weapon. That's all it was. From He-Man to Fakor to Stinkor to Moss Man to Adam to King Randor. I had all the toys. They're all just palette swaps. You know what I'm saying? So outside of like Ram Man, who was this taut,
yep,
you know what I mean? Like stocky joint, you could push him down.
And he spring and jump forward.
Yeah, like Skeletor is on one in this series, and I think that has a lot to do with Mark Hamill. Use it to Dennis again. I'm sorry to hit that, J. Robert. Hey, I hope everything is okay and your wisdom teeth are all intact. Let's see. Yeah, you showed up in time to be later than Ty, which is a problem. J. Robert.
Yeah.
Facts. Kevin Smith said it was going to be about He-Man. He straight lied. Again, I disagree. I think we're 5 episodes in.
I was about to say that. Yeah, you got to wait to see
whole 180.
Mean that's not going to be the case. What I think is we had some people that got some early information that found out probably what the early synopsis of the first 5 episodes was going to be, and were like, "There's no He-Man in this." You know what I mean? Like he's not the main character. The fact that he's not the main character or he isn't the person you're seeing the most doesn't mean it's not about him. Because at the end of the day, it still seems to me that they needed to go get Slim back.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, the way they left the joint off, like, and you know, if you leave heaven, like, that's it. Like, it seemed to me that they was trying to say to him,
yeah,
like, now you can't come back.
You're not coming back here.
And when the episode ended, not only was Skeletor, he man the tour.
Right.
Skeleton man, whatever you want to call him. He was swole. He had the sword of power, and he said, "I have the power." Like my man, finally
he's
got
that dude now.
Grubby hands. For years, we watched him come this close and not get it, and then come this close and not get it, and then come this close, and He-Man would just swoop in and save the day. Like He-Man can do anything. I watched that dude lift Castle Grayskull, dog, as a child. Like that guy can do it all. And this time it didn't work out that way. And I like that, actually.
Yeah, I did
that. We have learned a lot since that time frame about how to build villains, how to give characters more development, how to make them interesting, how to make people care about them. And again, like if you feel like this isn't for you, if you don't like what this is, that's okay. Because it might not actually be for you. That's just what you kind of have to accept, that for something to continue to exist, they have to evolve it. That's what Beast Wars was. I didn't want to accept it. You know what I'm saying? But Beast Wars was an evolution of what G1 Transformers was. It was them taking it into CG. It was them doing more with it and trying to expand on that universe. That was really a stolen universe. These were toys that existed in Japan before they ever came over here, man. They just had to make something up. You know what I'm saying? To give us something so we would buy toys. Like, that's the reality of what it is. I don't listen. The He-Man show from a few years ago, man. I'll be honest, I wasn't a super fan of it, but the joint with the super skinny He-Man, that wasn't my guy. That wasn't my guy. I didn't feel like that was the way they made He-Man and that joint look like Bo from She-Ra, and I didn't like it. But whatever. My man Jerry said it was live action movie vibes. I was feeling it. It was there were some MCU type vibes in there. Again, as far as like the joint ended, like they straight up took a page out of like, well, what happens if Thanos wins at the end of the movie? And everybody's like, wait, what? That's essentially what they did with this. You know what I mean? Like they straight stole an MCU plot point, which is like, well, let's do it that way. They were Godzilla doesn't show up for almost an hour in 1954 and 2012 films called Godzilla. Titles do not a story make. Hey, listen, I 100%. Sometimes it needs to be, because most of the people who are upset at that first Hulk movie are upset at it because Hulk doesn't show up until like the last 10 minutes of the movie. And it's like a 2.5 hour movie. I don't think it's a bad movie, but it's a bad Hulk movie because you don't get no Hulk until the very end. Once you get some Hulk, my man does go ham.
You get some Hulk, yeah.
But it takes way too long for that to happen. That don't have nothing to do with Eric Bana. People like give Eric Bana a hard time about it. Like, I don't have nothing to do with him.
He just played the role. I mean,
they said they should have gave him the same gold armor from the crap movie from the 80s. No, they should not have. Why would you do that?
Yeah,
He-Man was not the move for me.
like the keto diet He-Man.
Nah, I wasn't on the keto diet He-Man, man. My man said he wants Skeletor to have his original voice. Hey, listen, I think having Mark Hamill do it gets as close to what you could get for that as possible. You know what I mean? But again, that's you breathing out your nostalgia right now. You know what I'm saying? That's you holding your mouth closed and only breathing out your nose with your fist clenched up because it's not the way you remember it. You know what I'm saying? It's not exactly what you wanted. Like you had to know. Listen, we got the biggest blessing of all time by being able to still have Peter Cullen voice Optimus Prime in the new movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a thing that all of us, I feel like, were concerned about when they first said they're doing a live action Transformers. Yeah, but who gonna do Optimus Prime?
Exactly. Yep. And they made that announcement.
If it ain't my man, I ain't going. They better go rip all them joints from the old show and just
straight up
just put them joints in off a bank. Like
have the same.
Yeah, they better put them joints on an NPC. And like all I want to hear is my man say transform and roll out. And if it ain't him, it ain't right. I agree. I love this voice. I love Starscream's voice. Like all of that kind of stuff. And again, like, but again, when we look at those shows from the 80s, a lot of those cartoons, they had the same actors. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All the characters from G.I. Joe was all the same people from Transformers. Yeah. Like all of that was they were interchangeable for us. And yes, Mark Hamill killed it. Like I think Mark Hamill does a great job as Skeletor. Sure, it takes some getting used to. It's not exactly the way you remember it when you see what he looks like. And I think part of that is because he looks more like Skeletor looked in the 80s cartoon than he did in the new one. And so this Skeletor, when you see him, what you expect to hear come out of him is more of the original voice. Still, look, here's where I am. Because this horse dead and we just beating the joint. At this point, if you haven't seen it, I think you should watch it if you were a fan at all. If you go in expecting it to be exactly what you got from before, you're going to be probably a little bit upset. And I was like initially watching it. As I was watching, I was like, I'm not sure I like the way this focus is going. You know what I'm saying? By the time the 5th episode was over, I was like, okay, they're trying to do something here. And I was okay with it. You know what I mean? Like, it just, I will still always have the original joints from when I was a kid. I got them on a DVD. You know what I'm saying? I have my memories. I still have my toys. A lot of y'all don't. You know what I'm saying? I go get Buzzsaw right now. Sitting in a case. He looked at me yesterday when I walked past him. Like, you gonna get me out of here now? No, I'm not. You gonna stay in that. You gonna stay in this bin.
How long was the 80s He-Man series? Like, how many episodes would you say?
I don't know how many episodes it was. I honestly think it was only on for like 3 years. Something like that. You can look it up. That's what your computer's in front of you for.
Hey, I figured you would have an idea, so I went ahead and asked. But Sin looks
nah,
like he's
because
doing the work right
realistically,
now.
as a child, I didn't care. Because when He-Man stopped being my favorite thing, She-Ra was there. And I was on She-Ra and Hordak and Bo and all of them too. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I knew that was just Mattel making a play to get girls to buy the toys that were the craze that was He-Man. You know what I'm saying?
That show got anime seasons and anime episodes. 2 seasons, but 130 episodes.
Like, well, because it used to come on every day. It wasn't like, a lot of shows now. It's like, it's just you get a weekly episode or something like that. That joint came on.
I think I may go ahead and start watching it, like, because I mean, I'm sure just for the
new one or the old one.
Well, the old one, because like obviously I know I can watch the new one and at least I'll know characters' faces. Like, I ain't gonna be. I won't know them to the way that you guys know them, but I know if I watch the new one, I'm gonna know the faces. I'm gonna know the characters. But I kind of want to go back and actually watch it. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen about probably maybe half the episodes, because on Toonami, you get to the point where you just turn on Toonami, you just let that junk just ride the whole way through. So there were points where I definitely watched it, but I think I may do that.
I mean, bro, listen, enjoy yourself. On Facts, that joint, it's deep. It's a lot of characters, bro. They introduced so many characters. Like, just watching this 5 episodes and the way they was just dropping characters, I was like, oh, they go, hey, all right. Like, it was all over the place. It was all over the place. And again, they were all characters that, like, had a brief, like, some of them characters had, like, 1 episode. You know what I mean? Like, they brought in Fakor in the first episode. You know what I'm saying? And I, like, as a toy, like, the toy Fakor was exactly the same build as He-Man, same face, everything, except he was blue plastic instead of being white man plastic. Like, he was a blue guy. Like, it didn't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? At least in this joint, it was like, oh, he's a robot that looks like He-Man or whatever. Like, that joint was like, it was probably one of the dumbest toys I've ever seen. Yeah, they introduced at least one strong new character, and everybody else, I feel like they did enough world building around them that if they continue to do this show, I could see me watching it. What's good, Perp? Perp said he don't know nothing about the old He-Man, he wasn't a fan, but he liked the series. He want to see what people's complaints about. I mean, people's complaints are just that it wasn't what they grew up with. That's really what it comes down to. People are upset because they focus too much on Teela, which Teela was always one of my favorite characters. But I like the idea that, like, who she was then and who she's grown into now. If you go back and you watch the old series, you know that she's Duncan's daughter and that Duncan is the man at arms for the kingdom. So the way that this joint starts, she's replacing him basically as man at arms. Like, she has stepped up to that point. And it just tells you that she got hands. She's a weapons master. Like, all of that. You know what I mean? Yeah, listen, Roboto, dog. I had the Roboto toy because I remember you could take the little plug out his back and fill him with water, and his little parts would float on the inside. Yeah, that joint got demolished somewhere. I think I ran over him with my bike. Like, he was cool, but I didn't have that love. But yeah, like, people was really, I'm sure that there are some people who cry when Roboto happened. When Roboto happened. And you don't cry at anything, so don't, you know what I mean? Like, you do, but it has to be anime and it has to be like a long movie. But
well, you better prepare yourself for one of these fast movies. If my man Dom get taken out, my man gonna shed all the tears in the world.
Nothing but rain.
And on that note,
family.
Let's talk real quick about this HBO Max thing, man. I don't know if y'all saw. So WB made an announcement earlier this week that they are doing 10 movies next year throughout 2022 exclusively for HBO Max. There are a couple things that I think are interesting about this. One is that this is literally on the heels of every theater chain deciding that they hate Disney even more than they used to hate Disney because they took a bigger cut because of what happened with Black Widow. And many rumors that whatever plans Disney did have for doing premiere access / simultaneous release in the theater is no longer a thing. Like, they're just not going to do it anymore, which again, they hadn't really announced that they were doing that. We didn't know if they were going to do it or whatever, but supposedly there were. And if that was the case, not going to be the case anymore. So the idea that WB is kind of doubling down. Now, what's different about this is that they're not saying we're making movies that are going to be theatrical releases and
Type
go to
one. They're just strictly.
They're just saying we're doing 10 movies specifically for HBO Max. Now, here's the thing that is most interesting about this for me personally. Is there was an announcement like a month ago that the deals that HBO has, so a lot like theaters, which is an interesting thing because we've talked about how theater chains probably need to find themselves a way to get in line with streaming services so that they're pulling in something from streaming services or whatever. So the same kind of deal that theaters, Blockbuster have had with movie production houses has always been, comes out in the theater and then there's a window where you can't release it so that we continue to get, money. There's got to be a window that feels like it's long enough that people will be willing to come pay us
to the theater
to come see it in the theater and then still turn around and buy it from you when you do finally release it, right? And that window traditionally has been 90 days. Used to be a lot longer than that.
Oh, yeah.
But it also used to be that within that window was Blockbuster would have an exclusivity window. So once it left theaters, it was only at Blockbuster. Hey, take it easy, Jerry, man. Appreciate that Blockbuster or Hollywood Video or whoever you renting your movies from would also have a deal with those production houses so that they would be the only place you could go to get it, to watch it, to rent it. If you miss it in the theater or you wanted to see it again before you were able to purchase it, they had a window where they got it. But there was also, within that same time frame that Blockbuster would have, was HBO and Cinemax and the Movie Channel and whatever also had deals that they would do with those movie production houses to say, once it leaves theaters, we have an exclusivity window where we'll be the only place on cable where you can watch this movie. They would do these deals, right? So HBO, having its own streaming service, being in bed with WB anyway, is getting ready to lose their exclusivity deal with Universal. Because Universal and Comcast, same company, and they have Peacock. So they basically said when their deal with HBO runs out, they're not renewing it. They're going to take their stuff and it's going to go straight to Peacock, which
makes sense. Makes
totally
perfect sense.
Now, there's some interesting things about this. Okay, I had to look at it because it's a lot. So the other thing that Comcast Universal announced when they said that they wouldn't continue to do that deal with HBO was that they did do a deal with Amazon. So there's going to be a period of like 4 months. Once a movie leaves the theater for 4 months, Amazon streaming services will be the only place where you can watch it. And I say services because everybody knows Amazon Prime, though most people don't seem to really think about Prime. Outside of like their like original content, they know about Prime. But a lot of people sleep on IMDb TV, which is also owned. IMDb is owned by Amazon, and they own IMDb TV, which is a free streaming service. So those movies can go to either one of those platforms, okay, for 4 months. After those 4 months, the rights revert back to Peacock. Peacock has it for 10 months, and then it goes back to Amazon for another 4 months. It's the Listen, listen. It's the craziest thing. So basically, Amazon will have it. It'll get pulled from Amazon after 4 months, and then Peacock will have
after 10.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever, and then it goes back
for another
4.
Yeah. And here's what they said. They said that HBO turned down that deal. According to Universal. Listen, you right, Floyd. It makes no sense for us as consumers. It makes sense for them from a business standpoint because it means that they are getting paid to give somebody exclusivity rights, which is what the majority of all of this has always been about. The streaming wars is all about exclusivity rights. And what is happening is a lot of these companies that have always had the ability to sell exclusive rights to somebody else because they didn't have a platform to show you. So they didn't have HBO or the movie channel. They didn't have Netflix. They didn't have Hulu. They didn't have ownership of those things. So they made the content. Those places needed the content to get you to subscribe. So they would pay them, right? Like, you give us the deal, let's do a deal, right? And so exclusivity has always been what it is. Now, because everybody's got a streaming service, many of the rights holders, the people who actually own the content in the first place, can just put it on their own service. That's kind of what it is. Huma said, I remember when HBO would have a brand new movie every Saturday night at 8, straight up. I would live for it. I was about it, dog. Listen, what? It's a big deal. Hey, look, Perp said Netflix about to turn up. And listen, in some way, shape, or form, like what a lot of people are doing is trying to pull content from Netflix, which is why Netflix has seen this coming for a long time, which is why they put so much time and effort into making original content. So that they have reasons for you to stay. It's why Stranger Things is a thing. It's why Witcher is a thing. It's why they're doing all these deals with video game companies. It's why right now we're seeing them get in bed with Sony, and now they're talking about doing video game streaming in some form by some point next year because they saw it coming. And they're probably the next smartest people in terms of knowing what the next thing in streaming and cloud is on the horizon. They already in bed with Amazon because that's who Netflix runs on Amazon Web Services. So, as does Sony's PlayStation Network. So again, it kind of makes sense for them to do a deal of some sort together, right? Yeah, that's it. They go to theme song, Greg, straight up. So at this point, it's all about trying to take properties that you own and do licensing deals that only last a certain amount of time. Right? And you see it all the time. You go in to your Netflix or whatever, and you're like, I know I was watching such and such. I ain't finished it. It's not there anymore.
Gone.
You know what I mean? Or whatever, right? They pull it every month. They pull a bunch of stuff and they add a bunch of stuff. It's a constant push and pull. And that's because those licensing deals end. Or it could be that it just ended for the US, right? Like if you have a VPN or something like that, and you log into your Netflix account and say you're in Japan, you can watch way more anime. You can let Crunchyroll. You just let that go. You know what I'm saying? Like it might actually be worth it for you to pay the yearly subscription price for a VPN, and not pay the monthly subscription for Crunchyroll, and just get on your computer and watch.
When the last 2 seasons of Baki came out on Netflix, watched the first season. Then when I realized, oh wait, this thing is out in Japan. I don't gotta wait 6 months to watch this. I know what to do.
Exactly.
Was watching it by that evening.
Exactly. Like it's one of those things that like it is that push and pull for properties and ownership and where you can watch it. And at this point, more than anything, I think it's become confusing for most consumers. What's that on? How do we watch it? Like we even talking about it like in Movie Club, like we're trying to get suggestions of stuff for people to watch, and it's like try to make sure it's on a streaming service. Well, there's so many services. People are like, yeah, it's on Vudu.
Yeah. I got Voodoo.
Like, yeah, it's on Hulu, or it's on Disney Plus, or it's on Netflix, or it's on HBO Max. It's on Peacock. It's, you know what I mean? It's. What it really tells me more than anything is that probably within the next 3 years, most of these services won't exist. There will be 3 or 4 really big players, and a lot of it is going to be like there'll be stuff like you can watch it in multiple places because they'll do deals with multiple people.
Yeah.
You'll have to.
The market
And
of streaming service is getting too saturated.
it's way too saturated because it's as expensive as having cable.
That was the whole point of getting rid of cable. It was like you could get these. Hey, I only watch, let's say, NBC. So you know what? Let me get Peacock. You know what? Everything on there I watch is there. But it's like now it's then turned when you start adding them up, and I look at that on a monthly basis now. Like Jesus,
yeah,
like it's just like having cable all over again.
I mean, realistically, if you remember, it was a big deal. Netflix did that deal with Shonda Rhimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's helming stuff like How to Get Away with Murder and all that kind of stuff. Had been with ABC for years, bruh. For them to do that deal with her and get her away from standard broadcast television was a big deal for Netflix. They have updated that deal to include gaming now. We don't know in what capacity. We just know they updated her deal with Netflix to include gaming. So we don't know if that means that she's writing stuff. We don't know if it's going to be like Bandersnatch, where you're going to go in and kind of play stuff like that, or if it's going to be actual gaming. I got an email from Amazon Luna today that was like, hey, dog, it was the stupidest joint, man. It was like an advertisement that had all these Sonic rings falling from the sky. And it was like, you don't even need all these Sonic rings to play Sonic something, because you could play the demo for free in Amazon Luna right now.
What?
No, sir, I cannot.
This is what you're doing to entice me? This is how you plan on enticing me?
Yeah, like it just. But
like
again, streaming is where it is. Cloud services is where it is. 5G is where it is, and it's going to continue to have an effect on the way we, especially as like lovers of this pop culture stuff, like the way we consume. It's going to continue to have that kind of a thing. And so when you see stuff like this, and it's like, all right, 10 movies that are only going to be on HBO Max, cool. What kind of quality we're getting, what kind of money they're putting into it, who's going to star in it. But again, you're seeing more and more of your movie stars, your A-list movie stars, do stuff that goes straight to, you know what I'm saying, like a streaming service. Do stuff that goes straight to Amazon or straight to Netflix or something like that, right? Which there was a time when if an A-list actor wouldn't be caught dead doing a straight-to-DVD joint. You know what I'm saying? The straight-to-DVD joint happened because we couldn't get that actor again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so somebody playing a role. You know what I mean? Something like that. Like, it would be, I don't know. How many triple X's did they do?
Oh, God.
Was it 3 of them?
Yeah.
Because the regular Joan, Ice Cube was in the second Joan, and then Vin Diesel came back in the third.
No, Dominic Toretto. And
Ice Cube was in the third one, too. He showed up. Had a cameo.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that, right? Or like you see a joint and like it'd be like the Marine, and then the second joint
it'd be like 6 of them joints with different. I was just joking when I said 6.
Legitimately, it's like 6 of them jokes because after John Cena did like he did the first one, and then the Miz took over, but then the Miz ran with like 4 of them jumps for a while.
Yeah, I mean, again, Amos, you're right. The star power in streaming movies has increased tenfold at least, and that's because there's so much money in it. Like there's money that these actors just can't or won't turn down, and the kind of deals that they're getting are the kind of deals that like a regular movie production house, like Will Smith, for all of the money that he commands, right? He might still be the highest paid actor, but you know, when you were commanding like $20 million a movie, you have the kind of star power you have, you could say, well, I want more than just that, right? I want this much in royalties. I want an executive producer credit. I want, you know, whatever. Stuff like Netflix, man, like people are getting that left and right. Like they're just like, oh yeah, you want to do this? Let's do the deal.
There you go.
You get this kind of money. You get this kind of buying from streaming services. Like who knows what kind of contracts they're right now, but people are not walking away from them because in the same way, like if you do a big budget movie, you got to do something to get butts and seats. That's what pays the bills, right? A movie is a flop if it doesn't at least if it only makes back what it cost you. You know what I mean? Then it's a flop. But when you have executive producer rights, when you have royalties for all the DVD sales or for all the streaming services, when you have, you know what I mean, when they're starting to do deals for actors on Netflix and on Amazon, the way they do deals for musicians in Spotify, right? For every number of streams you get this. All we want you to do is do a press tour for us. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Like, we're going to cut these commercials that are going to go straight to here. We have this many viewers on our YouTube, right? Netflix has a YouTube channel. So let's think about that for a second. Because Google is also a competitor for them. So Netflix has a YouTube channel. They use somebody else's platform and probably pay in some manner money to Google or whatever, right? To advertise stuff that they want to put in front of people to get them to come and watch stuff on Netflix. And when you put out something that has a star in it, people watch the trailer. They watch it over and over and over and over and over again. And that joint got ads on it. There's money being made. Like, those deals are crazy. It's crazy. And the kind of deals that they do, if you're Google, they don't, trust me, everybody who's on YouTube doesn't have the same kind of deal for the amount of money they make on their CPA, on their terms. It's not the same for everybody. And if you're a big conglomerate, a huge company, it's a reason why those companies eventually had to have Twitter accounts. Those companies have to have YouTube accounts, right? They take clips from the news and put them on YouTube. Right? Why does NBC have a YouTube? Like they because people will just go and they'll watch it because that's all people watch. People don't even watch regular TV anymore. I mean, they do. Somebody is, right? So, Greg said The Rock is the highest paid actor now. I can believe it.
Yeah.
And you know why I believe it? Because action.
Yeah.
Because MCU. And let me tell you something. When that Black Adam joint drops,
Black Adam is going to, dog. Black Adam is going to be
they're going to have
be
to
the one.
They're going to have to do some very, very wrong things to mess that up.
Well, it is DC.
It's DC.
Hey, and that's sad. Like, I feel like they probably just say, "Hey, Rock, just take it and just do with it at this point," because DC don't know what they want to do with their stuff. So it's like just Rock, take it over.
I'm looking forward to it too. Just. You know,
I give him props.
Just keep my fingers crossed.
I give him props because just hearing him and how he talks so highly about Black Adam, you know, being this is going to be the biggest one of the DC things. Like
and when that dude talks about every project he does like that, like you can't listen. You can't.
He sells
Rock is a salesman.
He sells whatever he's in.
This man will sell your house to you. The joint you live in. Like, someone will show up, knock on your door, and just be like, you know who lives here? It doesn't matter who lives here. You should buy it. Like, he'll just, like, you
really?
just.
I'll buy it.
It's Ty, if you don't be quiet. Ty.
Hey, Ty, you don't like The Rock? What you got beef with The Rock?
I think The Rock is dope for Black Adam.
He don't smell what The Rock is cooking.
At all, clearly.
Doesn't matter to him.
Clearly. The Rock really only has one bad film that I can think of. That's Scorpion King. I'm dead. Like right now, I can't think of a movie that The Rock is in that I don't thoroughly enjoy in some matter. Like the Rundown clean. So good. I watched that joint over and over and over again. Yeah.
The Pain and Gain, the joint where it was
steroids
and everything. Yeah,
he got joints because it ain't just. He'll do, semi-dramatic joints for the kids, Tooth Fairy type stuff, whatever. Like,
hey, facts, Greg. He got me wanting to see Jungle Cruise right now.
He's
talking about Jungle Cruise like that.
No, he's doing.
I already know. Listen, jokes already bought Premiere Access. I already know.
I haven't yet, but I am though. But my man took a whole damn Terramana truck to Disney World for like the premiere of that joint.
He's a salesman. You know what he doing?
Why not?
Come on.
It's all these tequila. Yeah, buy this tequila.
I would have done that.
Movie.
My man put his energy drink in an Xbox One X and an Xbox Series X refrigerator. I know you wanted it, dog. Like you wanted it so bad.
Hey, look, when it just said it's coming out later this year, I'm waiting for the pre-orders to drop.
Well, I'm getting a fridge. That's not even.
What? I'm getting that fridge. That fridge is gonna be just as hard as getting this damn console.
Yeah.
You see the luggage? We talk about that tomorrow. We talk about that on Cousins tomorrow. Yeah. Hey, listen. Black Adam has to be tied to Shazam. Like it has to be.
Yeah.
And Shazam is the best DC movie, and it's the best brand of the DCEU. Easy.
Rock already said he wants to fight Superman too. So he's gonna get that.
Hercules. He did talk up Hercules. I still don't think that joint. That's like his second worst joint.
Yeah, I don't think that joint lived up to it.
King. You know what I'm saying? That's not as bad as Scorpion King. Scorpion King is garbage. That joint is garbage.
In his CG self in the Mummy, like that was the worst thing. And when I found out he was in it, I was so amped. I was so amped to wait to get to the end of that movie. It was like, yeah, The Rock about to come out and just destroy everybody. And he came out and I was like,
that joint looking like PS1 graphics.
I was like, what the hell is this?
That joint was the most Ray Harryhausen.
And I was a kid, and I knew this was wrong. And I knew,
like, bruh, claymation. That joint was terrible, dog. That joint was so bad. That joint had end of Black Widow graphics.
He at least did the people's eyebrow at least.
Oh, he did.
Also not okay, dog. Like I'm not. That's when you've gone too far. He was good in the montage in the beginning. I mean, Jungle Cruise is probably going to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like I just for the kind of movie / comedy, whatever. Like I think it's gonna be cool. Like I feel like I will watch it and I'll enjoy it. I haven't decided if I'm gonna watch it yet. I am fortunately at the place now where like I don't have kids that are like, I want to see that for every little thing that comes out. They don't care no more. It's just not that big of a deal. So I don't have to watch everything that Disney does. But some of it, there's a potential for Jungle Cruise to be the next Pirates of the Caribbean. There's a real potential there. If they do it right. That there could be like 4 sequels coming. Real talk. Green Knight looks real good. A lot of people are talking about Green Knight being one of the best joints this year. So I'm not. Yeah, we'll see. It looks cool. I'm not super interested, but it looks cool. I'll see what happens. I actually was considering we had access to passes to go see Suicide Squad, and I'm hearing great things about Suicide Squad.
The reviews for Suicide Squad are like,
I'm hearing great things about Suicide Squad. That's correct. Them kids ain't little no more. Yeah, man, like Suicide Squad. We could have gone to see the premiere tomorrow, but we gotta do cutscenes, so that's not happening. I know. Green Knight is about one of the Knights of the Round Table that takes on a challenge to fight the Green Knight. And it's like you have to, if you kill the Green Knight, or it's like you take his sword, you got to chop his head off or something like that. And then after that, he comes back and you got to fight him again later, or he gets to kill you. He gets to hit you with the sword. You take a swing at him with the sword. And then after a certain period of time, he gets to come back and hit you with the sword. Something like that. And it's about trying to figure out,
Ty, just look up
how you want to deal with it.
You online, like doing YouTube, look up the trailer.
Type something.
We ain't no more. Nope, not at all. Yeah. I got all my kids old enough to be vaccinated. That's all y'all need to know. It's a real thing. Yeah, it is like an RPG. It actually would be perfect as an RPG. I almost would probably rather play it as an RPG. Hey, listen, let's talk real quick before we get out of here about Batman, because y'all know how I like talking about Batman.
I know you do. We know.
What about Batman this time?
Oh, it's not a bad thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, listen, man, this Batman Unburied might be a real threat. So Batman Unburied is so Warner Brothers and DC did a deal with Spotify. So they're gonna have several like podcasts that are stories that are based on their comic book characters. Marvel did something similar. They had some really dope like Wolverine. They had a dope Wolverine podcast. Was super good. So Batman Unburied is their new thing. They just announced that Winston Duke is gonna play Batman. And realistically, yeah, it's a podcast. It looks like it's gonna be pretty good. I'm gonna pop up this caption about it real quick. So Batman Unburied is a psychological thriller that takes us on a new journey deep into the mind of Bruce Wayne, introducing a slew of dark twists and turns with a number of classic Batman supervillains. When audiences meet Bruce Wayne, he is a forensic pathologist working in the bowels of Gotham Hospital and tasked with examining the victims of the Harvester, a gruesome serial killer preying on Gotham citizens. Not only will the superhero, not a superhero, but be forced to face his own mental demons,
says it right there.
he will also have to overcome them in order to save the citizens of Gotham as his alter ego, Batman. Listen, that joint sounds super interesting. Like super interesting. Listen, bro. Listen, nah, it wasn't that easy of a change because we had to get movie club done yesterday. We had to move weekly to the day.
If we didn't have the extra in there, we would have shifted.
I thought about canceling cutscenes so we could go see Suicide Squad.
It was like that link came and I was like, "Hey, yo!" But then I was like,
"Hey, listen, man, if you want to go see it, I can shoot you the link. It's in Tyson's Corner." But here's the thing I'll tell you about those joints. With those passes and the way that they do those, I've been to several of those premieres. We get them a lot from like Warner Brothers in DC. Like that's actually how I saw Shazam. That's how I saw. Hey, listen, that Teen Titans Go to the Movies was fire, bro. They're like, if you don't get there super early, because they don't let everybody in, so anybody can get the pass. You got to show up, you got to be in line, and they just start letting people in. And they usually block off certain sections for press, so it's not a full theater seating setup. And when you go in, you got to go in and you got to get a seat, and you got to hope. You just stand there waiting in line, hoping you get in. So if you're not there early enough,
and that's my issue right now. I wouldn't even making it there. I'm coming from the opposite end, deep in Maryland, going to
Tyson's.
It's out Tyson, so I'm gonna get there and be disappointed.
Yeah, it'd be a little tricky. Listen, I just think that joint's gonna be real interesting. This is the image they're using for it, which again I think is cool. I think anytime you get a darker, grittier Batman, you're already way ahead of Nolan's The Dark Knight, because there was no Dark Knight in that joint, and I'll die on that hill. All right, one more thing before we get out of here. Y'all know I've been on this shoe kick recently.
Yeah.
Partially it's because pop culture is eating up shoes right now like it's nobody's business. I'm on these Slytherin shoes. I'm on these, Gryffindor joints, Spider-Man joints. Like, I'm all over the place. They got these Stan Smith Kermit joints that I've been eyeballing for like a month. And today...
You pulled the trigger.
No. No. They announced these joints. They are doing Stan Smith Groots. Hey, dog, look at the cork around the bottom of that joint, dog. Hey, Slim.
I am Groot.
These joints go live on Sunday.
Bruh, man.
For $100.
Oh, that's not bad.
Look at these joints, dog.
Oh, that's not bad.
Look at them joints.
I like them. I would never wear them though. I'd probably get them as a collector's or something like that.
Hey, listen, and here's the thing. I'm not mad at you. I would have to wear them at least once. At least once. I would have to wear them once. Look at the insoles.
I just got a text about it. Oh,
hey, Slim, look at the insoles. Prime green. They coming after me, though. You know what I mean? Lego shows all these minifigures. You know how hard it's gonna be to get the minifigures?
Oh yeah.
And I gotta answer that track. It's gonna be hard to get these minifigures because they're all, they're all in blind bags.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 12 of them. So they did them in sets. So you look at the sets. There's a book of sets. For real, as long as I get
Spider-Man.
you know what I'm saying? That's without saying. But that's Star-Lord T'Challa.
Yeah.
And the Captain Carter.
Okay.
I feel like I need them. Hold on.
I gotta see if we have these joints, because
if you have what?
If
see, this is my man want to collect. See, I don't want to spend that kind of money. Look at that joint.
Nah, I want
that joint.
That's normally my mentality.
The boot's fire, dog.
Let's go,
the boot's fire. You know what I mean? Like, I can't not. You can't wear those more than once, because I know that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a. So look, you already know that's the thing.
Yeah,
I have to have that guy. That goes without saying. We're not gonna hold back on that. But here's the other thing: they out here snitching. I mean, you can see in the What If trailer.
Yeah. Didn't know he was
I didn't see Zombie Hunter Spider.
Yeah.
We saw Star-Lord T'Challa.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I was on that. But I don't think we saw this Gamora. I don't remember seeing Gamora at all in the What If joint. And
I think she's in they released that last jump like a day or 2 days ago. It was like a random drop of a trailer. Like I think it was like subtle changes, but I'm pretty sure she's in it for all of a second. But I think you just see like her face. I don't think they show anything more than that.
Hey, listen. Here's the thing. I know they can. Hey, listen, Cuddy. I know they can get the whole set. They know how to they learn how to feel them out in the bag and figure out which is which. I get that, but this the thing. It's a certain way they ship them. I can't go giving out all the secrets. There's a certain way they ship them.
I'm trying to snitch, Tony.
Yeah, they don't all come. They don't all come that same way.
We keep that information off the show.
It ain't gonna be that simple. It ain't gonna be that simple. Okay, she's in the group shot. Okay, that's cool. I'm with that. Man, listen. Here's what we gotta do. We gotta wrap this up. Listen, there's gonna be a special announcement tomorrow on Cutscenes. Make sure you're there for that. If you a video game person at all, we're gonna have a special announcement coming for Cutscenes tomorrow. Jokes, you got a job to do. If you would please.
Yeah,
most of you guys in the chat know the rigmarole, but here's the deal. The link tree is right there. If you click that, you can go there and you can follow us on every platform we're on. If there's a social media for it, there's a good chance we're on it. Jokes has an OnlyFans. Feel free to subscribe. Everything else, we don't. You know what I'm saying? Listen, hey, Jokes, I thought you wanted the attention. I'm trying to. Okay,
we're trying to get your pockets right.
Out. Listen, Marcus, beats and beatdowns. My man want that. That's not what I'm announcing tomorrow, Marcus. Okay. Yeah, just follow us across everything. We appreciate. We see that you guys are you're in YouTube and you're on Facebook and you're on Twitch. You guys we appreciate the love from every platform where you show us love. That means so much to us. Yes, we on everything. We on everything. Make sure you check us out on Patreon, though. There is exclusive content that only goes to Patreon. For instance, yesterday we did our very first discussion about Black Widow for our movie club, which was a very in-depth conversation. And that conversation was only shown, most of it, because we had a little snafu with tech, but most of it, the discussion was only shown inside of the movie club itself. So you have to be a member. That group is private. But Patreon members, we did a half an hour discussion prior to that talk that we had. It was a really good discussion. And so Patreon members get that. Along with some other goodies that only go there. We just got finished. Did you upload the question of the month joint? Jokes?
Nope, that joint's going up tonight.
Slipping. See?
No. I put one out. No. Hold on.
Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna let you finish.
I put one out early, and then one goes out late, so people don't have to worry about having them conflict with each other. So you get one in the early, you can get one in the late.
Bullshit.
No.
You, sir, shut your mouth.
I'm gonna go ahead and knock that
joint out. You're non-helping yourself. You're non-helping yourself. You stay over there. You say nothing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Hey, I coughed. I didn't say that. I coughed, sir.
It's cool. Yeah. We every month we have a discussion question we put up there. People vote on what they want to hear us talk about. We had a pretty good discussion this go around. What was it, Sin?
Actors or actresses that you would follow no matter what they're in.
Yeah, that was an interesting discussion. Very interesting discussion. So again, Patreon, for just $1, you can be in there. There's some stuff that you get. If you're higher than that, there are multiple tiers. And I'm gonna tell you now, there are more tiers coming. That probably won't happen until the beginning of the year, but there are more tiers coming. What is wrong with you, Marcus? That's not what? Beyblade. What? First of all, get your childhood out of my stream, sir.
No. And no, because he's talking about what I was talking about the wrestler, and then call themselves Beyblade, and they did that shit.
What is it? You can't. That's enough. That's like, all right, your childhood is starting to invade my childhood, and I don't like it.
Invade.
Hey, listen. We know Howard the Duck is in What If.
Marcus, you got 2 more days.
Yeah, my man having a moment.
Oh, he ready.
It's just a couple days, man. See what ideas you can come up with, Marcus, and throw something out there. You can throw some more challenges out there. See if we can extend that joint for you another month. Just have something ready for tomorrow's show. You know what I mean? Sin, you got a job to do.
Yeah, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dorsch, and Tyrone Carson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Tyrone Carson, a.k.a. Late Ty. Hey, listen, do me a favor. Late Ty, Cuddy, Y'all gonna be on Grand Theft tonight? I need to know. Who been on that Microsoft Flight Simulator? That's another thing I need to know. It's so pretty. It's so pretty, but it's a mean download. That's a serious download. Listen, we greatly appreciate the love and support that you all give us. I want y'all to know we have our press badges for Otakon. We plan to be there all 3 days, though I'm gonna have to make a minor adjustment. I'll talk to you gentlemen about that momentarily. We will be at AwesomeCon. We have a panel at AwesomeCon. Our Being Comfortable Being a Geek panel is back.
Yes.
We're gonna be joined by some great folks. One of whom will be my oldest daughter is gonna join us for that panel.
Oh, okay.
Working on a couple of other little secret folks, some artists and stuff that we know, who are gonna be at AwesomeCon to join us on that panel. That is on Saturday.
Saturday
like
it was at
4
3
in room
something.
130.
Yep, that sounds about right. Hold up.
Something like that.
I'll make the event page.
Marcus, you don't have to create the challenge. I don't care if you can talk about One Piece or not. I was just trying to help you out. But by all means, complain
I
about
was
it.
going to talk to you guys about a Hot Ones thing. Oh, that we had talked about that actually a while ago.
What happened? Who's having a Hot Ones thing? That don't sound like nothing.
No, you know the Hot One, the chicken thing.
I know
I know exactly what it is.
I know what it is. I know what it is, but it sounded like you and Marcus was having a special conversation that didn't have nothing to do with me. I was like this. I don't know what you talking about.
That's a wrestling chat thing.
Yeah, must be a wrestling chat joint.
Yeah.
But whenever a wrestling chat decides to have another conversation, I'll let you figure that out. Listen, we're gonna wrap this up. One more time, I greatly appreciate all of you for hanging out with us this evening. We are looking very much forward to seeing y'all tomorrow night. Keep in mind, tomorrow night we're not starting until 9 o'clock.
Yes.
We're starting a little bit later. And we might even have the timer fixed. Y'all. So we'll see how that goes off. Until tomorrow, we appreciate y'all. We love you. We're out. Toodles and loos.